welcome to my channel. What am I doing today? Today I am doing a collaboration with the Thrifty Apprentice. He is an art YouTuber that I've been watching for about a year now, and he's not only an art YouTuber, but he's done journaling, paper craft, card making, and I really enjoyed his video. And we had been talking for a while, and he just asked me if I want to do a collaboration with him, and I was like super excited because I love doing collaborations, even though I haven't done. Have I done any for this year? I don't think so. I know I did a lot in the beginning of my channel, but I haven't really done any lately, and I was super excited when he graciously asked me to collaborate with him. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so nice. I am over the moon excited about it. Anyway, get off my excitement. Let's talk about what that collaboration is about. Okay, so we were talking, and the idea is that we would use the same medium and do a prompt. And he shared with me his amazing collection of watercolor supplies, and I was like, wow, he has an amazing collection. I thought I had a lot, but I have nothing on him. Literally, he has such an amazing collection. And one of the things that we do have in common are these beautiful, this one, basically only the six, these Marie's watercolor masters, the Marie's Masters watercolor paint. I put mine in this palette here, and this is the Marie's Bargain Friendly brand that I bought in my country, and these six on the corner here are the Marie's Masters. So we have that in common. I'm not sure if he have a set of Marie's Masters, but I only have 6 colors, and I told him that I only have 6 colors, and he said, perfect, we can do a collab. And he was the one who chose the prompt of National Treasure. And I was like, wow. Wow, in the sense that, you know, it's the month of September, and normally during September, it's such a huge month here in the country of Belize. It's the month when we celebrate our carnival. It's the month when we celebrate the Battle of St. George's Key, and it's the month when we celebrate our independence. And I need to explain some of that to you because you guys may not even know what I'm talking about. Okay, so being a part of the Caribbean, one of the things that we celebrate here in the Caribbean, or one of the Caribbean communities, CARICOM, is Carnival. Carnival is a celebration that was passed on to us from our ancestors, where we celebrate our freedom, our culture, and our diversity. Basically, that's it. We celebrate freedom, culture, and diversity. We celebrate the land, we celebrate the people, we celebrate everything. And it's just a big celebration, just basically carnival. It's all over the Caribbean, and it's basically that, just a big celebration that is shared throughout the entire Caribbean countries. I think in Brazil they do carnival as well. And again, it's just a huge celebration. And because it's a celebration where you celebrate diversity, you celebrate nature, you celebrate culture, you know, we all dress up in costumes and we dance throughout the streets, you know, and it's like you have groups, and the groups compete against each other, and the best group wins. And I'm not the best ambassador for the carnival, so just basically that's my understanding of it. The next thing that we celebrate here in Belize in the month of September is the 10th of September. Now, the 10th of September is exactly that, the 10th day of September. And the reason why we call it the 10th of September is because on the 10th day in the month of September in 1798, it was the final battle between the British settlers who were here and the Spaniard army from Mexico. I think those army was from the Spanish the Spanish Navy from Mexico. Okay, the whole history of Belize is, now we got to go into this stuff. The whole history of Belize is, Belize was actually just a settlement, just like when you go to a deserted island with your family and you find that island and you settle there until you're found to be taken back home. Belize was brought up the same way. Literally, the country of Belize was basically brought up the same way. It was a settlement where British settlers, well, British pirates come here and they just found a home here. And yes, I speak English, and yes, Belize is in Central America, and yes, I am talking about the British, and that's the reason why Belize is the only English-speaking country in Central America, because the settlers who were here were British. Anyway, the Spanish settlers went Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, the entire gamut of Central America, and they wanted this part of Central America as well. But there was British settlers here, and they did a lot of raids. They did a lot of stuff to try to chase and discourage the British settlers from living here, and they just continue living. And this was 1798, so this was during the time of slavery. So the British settlers brought their slaves with them. They brought their families with them. Belize became a rich country with Belize became popular for our logwood and for our mahogany, which the British people who were here, that's what they harvested and sent back to England. And so the British crown, had a vested interest in the country of Belize, because we were providing the British crown, the parliament in England, with mahogany and logwood. And in 1798, this was the final battle, not the first. This was the final battle when the Spanish Navy came from Mexico to try to drive out the British settlers and their slaves here so that they can stop harvesting and exporting logwood and mahogany. They tried to chase them out. The settlers and we call them baymen. The baymen and their slaves fought against them and won. And I think that was one of the last times that a big Spanish army came to try to invade Belize, because the British settlers chased them away. And I said, the British royal family, the British Parliament had a vested interest in this settlement, because we were exporting mahogany, we were exporting logwood before mahogany, and many of the mahogany timber that was exported from Belize is still in the British Parliament to this day. So yeah, it was really good mahogany apparently. And that was it. Actually, our flag itself, and I will show you a picture of the flag, actually has, symbolized that same sentiment. The writing under the flag is some umbra floro, which means under the tree we flourish, under the mahogany tree, which was our main export at the time, we flourished. And it has a black slave and a white bayman. So, in celebration of that battle that happened on the 10th day of September 1798 in the first capital, not the first capital, Belize's first capital at that time in 1798 was St. George's Key, named after the king, I think, or the St. George. But it was St. George's Key was actually a little island. A key is a little island. It's off the coast of Belize. That was our first capital. And then the capital moved to Belize City. And then after 1961, the capital moved to Belmopan, which it still remains to this day. Just a little bit of history. All that is to explain this, believe it or not. And because of that, we call it the Battle of St. George's Key. Not because they were fighting for the key itself. They were actually fighting for the country. But the battle happened in the waters, out at sea, so we call it the Battle of St. George's Key, the 10th of September. And then we have the 21st of September, which is our Independence Day. And I don't have to explain that. That was the day Belize became, because we were once a colony of Britain. Like I said, the British Parliament had a vested interest in the settlement. And I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 1852. Belize officially became, it was either 1852 or 1861, sorry. Belize became an official colony of the British Empire. So we were a part of the British Empire, just like many other Caribbean countries. And in 1981, we gained our independence. The British Parliament agreed to give us our independence, so we were no longer a colony of Great Britain, but we remain a part of their Commonwealth. And the head of the British royal family, I can't say the Queen of England, but I think it's now the King of England, is still our head of state. So yeah, because we're still a member of the Commonwealth, and the head of the British royal family is still our head of state. And we still have a Governor General to represent the head of state. Okay, all that, guys, was background information to explain what's going on here, National Treasure. And it was the inspiration why I chose Theo. This is Theo. Theo is a toucan. Toucan is the national bird here in the country of Belize. And my OC, Theo, is a toucan to represent my Belizeanness and as a national treasure. And by the way, it is illegal to kill a toucan in Belize, just as it's illegal to cut down a mahogany tree. Because like I said, the mahogany tree became the national tree, the toucan became the national bird, the black orchid is the national flower, and our national symbol, one of our national symbols, is our flag. So when the Thrifty Apprentice asked me about national treasures, one of the things that I went back to was the toucan, which is our national bird, and one of our national symbols, which is the flag of Belize. And I have Theo here in front of our Belizean flag. Now, I did not draw the Belizean flag fully, I don't have my little man, but he's actually posed in front of the Belizean flag. And I have him here. And this is my contribution to our collaboration. The last thing I'm going to blabber about is this. These are the Lindsay brushes. I noticed in the Thrifty Apprentice videos that he had a set of the Lindsay brushes, and I was also fortunate enough to be gifted a set of the Lindsay brushes. So, being that he wants us to use the same prompt and the same paints, I wanted to, and I noticed we have the same brush set. I decided to use my brush set from the Lindsay Rare Rich set, and I'm using a number 1 rigger, and I'm also using her number 8 round. I think I'll be good with only number 8 round because I think I'll be good with only number 8 round, because even though it's one of the bigger paintings I've had, it's actually, there's a lot of spaces. So anyway, now that you know what I am doing and the historical significance behind my piece and why it actually is my national treasure, let me stop the blabbering now and get to the painting. Let's get to that time lapse.
On this, the 81st year of the 20th century, the vote attend declared the colony of British Honduras free. Sub umbra florio, under the tree may her people flourish.
They invaded our beaches, some even took from our trees. With crystal clear waters, they choose to reap from our seas. This is my home, this is my country. All of this stuff away. This is my home, my territory. Our land of the free. They took us from our homeland. It took some generations to mix with the white man. So comes my creation. We've inherited everything they were fighting for. Our forefathers never backed down from that one. Oh, my roots are planted deep down in the existence of this land, and I'm proud to the bone to be born Belizean. No, I'm not going back. No, I will never stop. Cause this is my home, and this not fear. This is my home, this is my country. All of this stuff away. This is my home, my territory. Our land of the free. This is my home, this is my country. All of this stuff away. This is our home, this is a jewel, yeah. Oh, a land of the free.
Okay, I am finished. Literally, I'm finished with this piece. The one thing I did not say in the beginning were I said the paints that I was using, but I did not say the 6 colors that I have in these Maries. In these Maries, I have the cadmium yellow hue. I also have gamboge, cadmium red hue, permanent rose, sky blue, and ultramarine blue. So those are the colors that I have here for the Marie's Masters watercolor. The book that I'm using, the sketchbook that I'm using, is made from Pacan, I believe. Let me get to the last page here. Pacan You Create paper. This is a super heavyweight paper, 140 pounds or 300 GSM. It's a sketchbook that I made. I just wire bind it, guys. And honestly, I'm enjoying using this book for the most part. I actually am amazed now that I'm looking at it, at this piece. It is beautiful. The one thing that I was struggling with in the beginning were these brushes, especially it's number 8, because I actually forgot how much water it holds. As you can see there, I forgot how much water this holds. I literally did, because I haven't used it in a while. And so I forgot the amount of water it holds. The other brush that I added to my painting was this one. This is an Art Secret liner. It's supposed to be a liner, but I use it as a small brush. Not necessarily a lining brush, just for me to get into the smaller areas. So yeah. Those were the brush that I find myself using for this piece, and I actually really do like it. I'm hoping that the Thrifty Apprentice likes it as my contribution. It is a national treasure. I do love it, and now I think it's dry, so I can do some. Let's see if these tapes actually work, guys, because I didn't even prep the tape before put it on this book. Normally I would stick the tape first on my skin or clothing before I put it on. Just trying to see if it, no, it didn't. I have to clean up some of my line works here. It didn't, well, it kind of did, but it kind of did here, but not so much at the bottom. But why am I doing that? That's okay, straight away. Yeah, it didn't at the bottom, but it's okay. That's why I like doing sketchbook work, because that way I don't feel too precious about little mistakes like that, because it's gonna be in a sketchbook and I don't really display my sketchbook to the world, so except for you guys, because you guys are my friends and I like you. Yeah. The other thing that I should note is that the black is actually from the Marie's bargain friendly brand, because guys, I didn't want to mix up black and I already had one readily there, so I just used the black from the Marie's bargain friendly brand that I had, this one. And the white is actually white gouache. I have some white gouache that I keep in this little container, and that's what I use for my highlights. So yeah, besides the minor little strokes to the bottom, I think it's okay. What do you think? Now that you're seeing it with the tape off. Yeah, I like it. I told you it's nice. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy September, everyone. Bye.